Have you ever tried trading a breakout? And the next thing you know, you get stopped out because it turned out to be a fake breakout. Of course you have. This is part and parcel of trading. So how do you know when's a good time to trade a breakout and when's a good time to trade a fake out? How do you discern between the two? It's a very fine line. Perhaps you thought it was a breakout and it was a fake out. Or maybe it was a fake out and you thought it was a breakout. And it can be really frustrating, especially if you are always caught on the wrong side and lose money trading both breakouts and fake outs. Well, on this channel, I did mention that one of the best ways to trade a breakout is to look for build-up pressure in the form of an ascending or descending triangle. And that's one way you can discern between a breakout setup and a fake out setup. Still, that method requires a little bit of trading experience, so in a sense, that method might not be suitable for everyone. And that's why in today's video, I want to show you a secret tool that is beginner friendly. This is a tool that you can use to tell when you should trade a fake out and when you should not. And even if you have no intention to trade a fake out, you can also use the tool to tell if it's an excellent time to trade a breakout. So in this video, I will walk you through what the secret tool is, how you can access it, and more importantly, how to use it. If that sounds good to you, then please do me a small favor and hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you are new to this channel. It helps support this channel and I appreciate it. We also do a giveaway for our plug and trade trading package worth $37. And you will gain access to more training, indicators, and a hedging strategy that made us over $30,000. To participate, just look for an emoji somewhere in this video. If you want more information on this, just check the pinned comment down below as well. Now back to the secret tool, which I will not hide from you any longer. It is the current ratio tool. This current ratio tool shows you the relationship between the buyers and sellers in the market. It looks like this, and there are a couple of websites that show this. You can find it on Forex Factory under the Trades tab and the FX SSI website. Now between the two, I prefer to stick to the FX SSI current ratio because they have more currency pairs and they also break it down by brokerages. This is important because the Forex market is not a centralized market and different brokerages will have different current ratios. So you don't want to be looking at the data from a small brokerage as a representation of the entire Forex market. For this reason, I prefer to stick to the current ratio found on FX SSI rather than the one on Forex Factory. For the current ratio shown on Forex Factory, I'm not too sure which brokerages they are pulling the data from. So that's the reason I recommend leaning towards the one at FX SSI. For the purpose of this video, I will explain how this works using the current ratio from FX SSI. But feel free to use other websites that you find on Google or the one on Forex Factory. So right here, this is the current ratio of Euro Dollar. Now, you must focus on the average right here rather than individual brokerages. The brokerages listed here are among the most prominent players in the market. And because Forex is a decentralized market, it is impossible to get the entire Forex market's data. But that is fine because these are some of the most prominent players. Combining them and looking at the average ratio should give us a good idea about the bulls and bears. So we must use the average data as a proxy for the entire Forex market. In this example, we can see that the current ratio between bulls and bears is about 55 to 45. So it's quite a fair fight. Neither the bulls nor bears have a significant edge over the other. This is the kind of situation where you want to lean towards a fake out rather than a breakout. Logically, if the bulls and bears are locked in a stalemate, then it doesn't make sense to go for a breakout trade. You need the bulls to dominate the bears or the bears to dominate the bulls in order for a breakout trade to be valid. So let me walk you through a scenario. Let's suppose that you see a potential breakout right here on the charts. You cross-check the current ratio on FX SSI and see that the current ratio is 55 to 45. Now, if you are into trading fake out setups, you can anticipate a fake out and look to trade it. Once the price closes above the resistance and closes back below the resistance, then you can go ahead to take a trade. Now, I won't go into the exact step-by-step process of how to trade a fake out because the focus of this video is how to use this current ratio tool. But I've previously uploaded some videos on how to identify fake outs and how to trade them. So if that's something that you are keen to learn, then I will leave a link to that video at the top right corner and at the end screen of this video. But for now, let's get back to this scenario. If you are a breakout trader, then you might want to avoid trading the breakout because neither the bulls or bears have a significant edge over the other. You can use the tool to determine whether you should trade a breakout or not. If you see a breakout pattern forming on the charts and the current ratio skewed towards one end, it could be something like 80% bullish and 20% bearish, then that might be a good breakout setup. Let me show you an example of what I mean. Right here, we see an ascending triangle. The lows are getting higher and the bears are being squeezed out of their shorts. So we cross-check this with the current ratio. Now let's just suppose that the current ratio looks like this. Now of course, at that point in time, historically, the current ratio might not look like this. But for the sake of illustration, let's just assume that it is. Now with the current ratio telling us that the bulls are in control, it gives us further confirmation that this might be a good breakout trade. In this case, it turned out to be valid. It could very well turn out to be a fake out also. Because remember, we are dealing with probabilities. This is just an odds enhancer. It isn't a 100% thing and there's no such tool out there that can predict anything with 100% accuracy. I'm sure you are aware of that. Regardless of how you choose to use this current ratio tool, be it to trade a breakout or fake out, it is crucial to understand that this is just a tool to assist you. It is not a whole trading strategy on its own. It is not a tool to replace your entire approach to trading. Please do not start using this and buying whenever you see that the current ratio is 80-20 or start selling once price breaks resistance just because the ratio is 50-50. You still need to identify the market context, key levels and a price action entry trigger. You need to put everything together, not simply just trade off what this indicator tells you. You have to do your own technical analysis on top of using this indicator. So summing up this video, I walk you through this powerful tool called the current ratio. And while you can get it from multiple websites, I recommend using the one found of FX SSI. It is free and I will leave a link to this in the description down below as well. When you see that the current ratio is balanced, something like 60-40 or 50-50, it signifies that both bulls and bears are strong and you should lean towards a fake out play. However, if you see that the current ratio is skewed towards one side, something like 80-20 or even 70-30, that signifies that one side dominates the other side. This means that you could potentially lean towards a breakout play. And lastly, I caution that you should never use this indicator in isolation and start trading it. So that's it for this video. I will leave a link to the current ratio in the description down below and the fake out trading strategy video at the end screen right here. If you are new and do not know how to trade a fake out effectively, then I recommend checking that video out next. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe. I will catch you in the next video.